It's time to get hot and bothered.
Oh, my.
You're tuned into the Talking Heat podcast with Hot Sauce Guide and FGC.
Welcome to Talking Heat. I am Hot Sauce Guide, and for the next hour, I'm going to try and get through this interview with 3 Pittsburgh Steelers fans. But anyway.
That's a good one.
He's been sitting
Slug.
on that probably since he saw you post.
He's
since
been
he saw the picture
fucking
posted.
waiting.
I knew he was a Steelers fan. But how you guys doing?
Doing good. Hanging in there. Work from home today. It's this new world we live in is pretty nice.
Not throwing up? Kept your food in?
Yeah, I haven't thrown up since Sunday, which is nice. Tested negative for COVID, so I'm just a bitch. Is the Twitter poll I put out is hey, if I have COVID or am I just a bitch? And like 20 people voted that I'm just a bitch, and so they were right.
Damn,
right.
I didn't even get to vote.
So just a bitch.
Well, so today, guys, joining us is Aaron from Galactic Hobo. How you doing?
Chilling.
Thanks for coming on with us.
Yeah, of course.
So generally, when we start, we just kind of like to find out more about who you are, outside of hot sauce, and kind of how you got into hot sauce.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of liked hot sauce since I was younger, and it just kind of turned into a thing where it was a hobby at first, but I knew whether I was starting a hot sauce business or not, I was going to start some sort of business, and it just ended up turning into hot sauce as a side gig, and then kind of evolved from there.
Awesome. So tell us a little more, where do you live? What do you do besides hot sauce?
I live in West Springfield, Massachusetts. Steelers fan in New England, bad territory.
How did that happen?
Yeah, dad, pretty much. Brainwashed from birth, and that's all she wrote. But yeah, I don't know. I like to game, hang out with friends, and I'm usually working a lot, but when I'm not, it's usually a lot of video games and chilling out. Pretty low-key guy, so I've come to realize as I've gotten into the business stuff, doing pop-up events, stuff like that, I'm definitely an introvert. Talking to people when I first started doing pop-up events was like the scariest thing for me. I was like, holy shit, I gotta like talk to people about my sauce. Like, I can't just stay home and sell it.
I actually have to
I feel
socialize and be a person.
Yeah, right. I gotta go talk. I gotta go talk to people after I was quarantined for 2 years and no one was talking to each other. Now I gotta go talk to people again. Damn.
It's a struggle.
Right.
So you said you were you wanted to start a business. Did you have hot sauce recipes before that, or did you kind of decide on making a business and then started exploring hot sauce recipes?
Yeah. So it was such a weird process. I actually wanted to start a food truck. That was my initial idea when I was originally getting the ball rolling. And then, I don't know, it was just, I moved to Maine. I quit my job. I was a sous chef for a restaurant. And then I quit my job, moved to Maine. And then to make up for the lost money, it was kind of like, I'll start a side gig. And then once I started selling the sauce and giving it out to my friends, they're like, dude, that's pretty fucking good. So I kind of just started honing in on that one sauce, and that ended up being what OG is now today.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always interesting to kind of hear if anyone has culinary experience or not. You kind of find, I think a lot of the makers that we've talked to have some sort of chef or culinary background. So you can definitely kind of tell when, in the sauces that I've tried, that you kind of know what you're doing, putting those ingredients together.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Now, Aaron, you said you're a gamer. What are you playing right now? What's your top 5? COVID hit and everybody just became a gamer. Everybody bought a PlayStation, a Switch, or a computer. So what's been your top 5 games over the lockdown period and into the current day?
Let's see. Well, right now, Project Zomboid is big on my list. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Never.
It's still in beta, but
Okay.
Yeah, so Project Zomboid I've been playing a lot lately. And then Dead by Daylight is a big one. It's like an asymmetric horror
Yeah,
survival game.
I've wanted to get into that.
And then other than that, yeah, that's a good one. I like it. They do consistent updates, so it stays fresh. And then Total War series, I'm always big into strategy games.
Nice.
And other than that, I mean, it's just a little here and there, whatever's on sale on Steam. I'll just pick up here and there and play it. But yeah, the Total War, Dead by Daylight, and Project Zomboid have been taking up most of my time lately.
I'm a big free gamer. Whatever I get on the weekly giveaway on Epic, Dead by Daylight, right over Christmas break, they gave it away, right over the Christmas holiday.
That's
So
right.
I
It was
just
on
picked it
there.
up. Yep. And they have one Second Extinction. It's about you're just going to the Earth after dinosaurs came out of the Earth and took over. So you're just dropping down from space trying to kill dinosaurs. A lot of fun. Doesn't cost me a penny. There's a lot of free games to play if you download Steam or Epic, and I'm all about saving
Yeah.
money.
Kind of is it kind of like Turok? That's the kind of vibe.
A little bit. It's a little bit like Turok, yeah. But there's like different quests. You're trying to pick up the eggs. You got to kind of eradicate them, do a little research, get to extraction points. It's like humanity lives in space, and they're trying to come down periodically to the Earth to reclaim it. It's a far-fetched
Okay.
gaming idea, but you get to run around with chain guns and artillery weapons, and it's just chaos. It's like the first
I know
time
what you're talking about.
first time a Triceratops bum rushes you and it's thrown itself around at you like it's a luchador. It's awesome.
I'm really interested to find out why you need to re-extinct the dinosaurs. Like, like
listen.
what in the lore of the
They
what
came.
in the lore of the game has brought the dinosaurs back,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
what has caused humans that they need to
Because the
then go
dinosaurs
back
came
and take
back.
them out
Yeah,
because
they came looking.
Haven't
Go
you
ahead.
watched
Having
Jurassic
vengeance.
Park?
Yeah,
Mhm.
the new Jurassic Parks are
So this is all
basically
Chris
that, right?
Pratt's fault. Is he a voice
It
actor
is.
in the games? Since he's in
I wish.
Mario. He's pretty much everything now.
He's getting around.
Batman, Mario.
hmm Listen,
Those
those
things.
dinosaurs came looking for trouble, and I'm ready to hand it out to them.
Yeah, with guns.
Yeah, with guns.
So, getting to know you outside of the hot sauce realm, what is something that you're most proud of outside of the hot sauce game?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, going back to the sous chef stuff, I started at the same restaurant. It was actually my first restaurant gig that I had ever worked. So before then, it was just retail, merchandising at grocery stores, stuff like that. But I ended up starting at that restaurant as a dishwasher and kind of moved my way up to eventually become sous chef at said restaurant. That was a big accomplishment, big step towards my maturity, I guess, in hard work. I hadn't really been much of a hard worker. Galactic Hobo is perfect for that mindset for me, kind of getting back in that, like, playing video games. But, like, other than that, like, the behind the scenes stuff, none of that really would have came to fruition without my experience as a sous chef, understanding responsibility and stuff like that. So that's definitely a big accomplishment, I would have to say. But I mean, other than that, I do a lot of other stuff. Like I do airbrushing and stuff. My skills on that have become very nice. So I'm very happy about that stuff as well.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Well, so I mean, we'll probably get to this later, but I know that it was. So you talk about airbrushing, and are you the one that designs the labeling of all your bottles, or is that like something that like art friends do, or how? Because you've got some of the coolest looking bottles I've ever seen.
Awesome.
So.
Thank you. Yeah. So my one of my best friends from high school actually started up his own graphic design company not too long ago, and so it basically allows us to kind of bounce ideas off of each other and work together, and it really helps because he's the person I trust the most with that stuff.
So you got a high school
Yeah,
friend,
they're super cool.
and they're the ones you kind of say, I want something real trippy, or for like Hobo Kai, you're like, I want something fighter
Yep.
based, and he just whips this up for you. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's great because he understands me perfectly. There's no like we'll sit down, talk it out. I'll draw up what I need, but I have all the ideas in my head. I just can't put it onto the paper. I guess I don't have that kind of artistic ability, so I look to him to kind of bring it all together for me, which he does an awesome job. I love what he does.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Can you explain to it?
It's awesome that everyone loves. It's awesome. Sorry, it's
Okay.
awesome that everyone else loves the artwork. I'm super pumped about that. That's like super happy.
For sure.
It looks beautiful, and I noticed a little bit of continuity. Can you explain? Is this character on your bottle? Is that Bill? And who is Bill? Do you have a backstory in mind for him? Have you thought about what are his character motivations and why is he destined to live life his way and why does it involve spicy foods?
Yeah. So Bill's kind of this. So on the Hobo Kai label, we named him Bill for kind of a reference to William Zabka, who's the actor for Johnny Lawrence in Cobra Kai. So we kind of went that route, but yeah, it's kind of the labels are kind of like a multiverse of ideas, I guess, and putting the character into different situations of like this and then.
So you heard it here first. The MCU got nothing on Galactic Hobo. This masked, this masked astronaut Bill is going all over the universe. He's in the multiverse.
That's right.
Speaking of
so it's kind of like I don't know. There's just so much going on in my head, like I said, and the artistic stuff comes out in the labels and like. My personality, I want to interject a lot of that into the labels. Like I love fighting games, so the Hobo Kai label, kind of like that. But the OG label, the playing video games on the planet thing, I was like, we were bouncing so many ideas off each other, and I was like, dude, why don't we just have him sitting on a planet just playing video games? Because you know what? If I were to go on a planet, that's exactly what I would be doing.
Bust out the aux cord and the HDMI. Well, speaking of multiverse, I want to get to know you as a person a little bit more. Aaron, do you have a favorite superhero? Do you read comics? And then if you do, I need to ask you the most important question you've ever been asked in your life. Who wins in a fight, Batman or Superman?
All right. Ooh, that's tough. Favorite superhero? I think I would have to go with Wolverine on that one.
That's a good choice. That's a solid choice.
Yeah, Wolverine would probably be my top superhero. And Batman versus Superman?
This answer might get you booted off the show by Slug if you answer it wrong.
All right. Well, Batman's pretty OP in the comics, I feel like. So I feel like they always write him to be winning, but I feel like realistically, Superman should win pretty much 100% of the time.
100%. 10 out of 10. You're absolutely right.
You
can love Batman all you want. He ain't fucking touching him. You're not touching a goddamn demigod, Batman. Sit down.
Right. Like, I don't think Superman being so strong would sacrifice like that much smarts to the point where Batman could overpower him with his brain.
Exactly.
Like, Batman can't be that smart, can he?
Even if he is, Superman's like a human computer. Like, he's a living computer. He is everything better than you. Okay, so just sit down, Bruce Wayne, you little crybaby orphan bitch. But good answer.
That's right.
Batman stands. You can at me. You can at me all you want if you're a Batman stan. I appreciate what Batman stands for, but the writers need to just slow the fuck down. Excellent question. Take it away, team. Keep it rolling.
This has gone from 9 out of 9 in the first episode.
Yeah.
9 out of 9 times Superman wins to now 10 out of 10 times.
It's straight 10 out of 10.
It just keeps.
It can be 1,000 out of 1,000. Batman don't win.
That's right.
I digress.
Well, you've survived the gauntlet of Slug and can remain on the show.
Yeah, I have specific instructions from Slug that if at any point someone says the wrong answer, I just hit a button and it just stops the whole call. And
cut it.
So far, you passed, so that's good. So can you? Oh, sorry, Hot Sauce Guide.
Go ahead. Nope.
I'm stealing your thunder here. Can you tell us about your creative process and what it goes into as you come up with your sauces? And I know that you have 3 different sauces on your store right now. You have the Galactic OG, the Bandito, which I absolutely love the fact that it's Gringo hot sauce. That's hilarious. And then the Hobo Kai, which is a Thai chili sauce. What's the creative process? Like, what went into coming up with those 3 different flavors? Yeah.
Yeah, so going into the OG, it was kind of like that was the most pressure, I guess, because I wanted the original to have the most uses. I wanted a sauce that could pretty much go on everything, and now it's kind of like, well, I love burritos. Burritos and tacos are like one of my favorite things. So I was like, you know what?
Same.
Why don't I make a taco sauce? Why don't I take a crack at that? And then like chicken and broccoli is one of my favorite meals when I'm eating Chinese food. So I was like, you know what? Let me try making some sort of teriyaki sauce that I can use so it's kind of like, I don't know. I wouldn't say sauces that I only like, but if I don't like it, then it's not something I can release, and that's kind of where it goes. But I kind of like to take ideas that are already existing and kind of just build off of those, I guess.
Okay, that's cool. That is cool. And follow up with that. As you look at these flavor profiles and you mix things together, is it like you're just at home and you just go to the market and just buy a bunch of ingredients and just tinker, or like is it or do you kind of like have like a set plan before you dive in?
Yeah, so I usually will make the first batch just kind of willy-nilly. I'll get it to a point where I actually have my roommates taste test it, and I'll just put out little petri dishes, like 6 sauces, and I'm like, here, spoon, try that one. I'm not telling you. I'll write some notes. Taste that one, taste that one, and then I'll just get whatever they think, and we kind of go from there. It allows me to figure out what ingredients kind of how they adjust the sauce in what ways, because it's definitely a lot different than like cooking a sauce for your dinner, because you don't really get the full effect until you're completely finished with the sauce, and then it's like, well, can't really reverse the process now. So I just usually the first time I make it, I don't write anything down. It goes in the head, and then once I got a base recipe that I really like, I'll start messing around with that, write it all down in the notebook, every single ingredient, and then pretty much go from there. Just like one ingredient at a time. Taste test that one without something or with something, and then that's basically how it builds.
Cool.
And the OG was like getting from the test batch to the final product. It was probably about like, it started like 2 years ago, and then about 6 months of taste testing to really finalize the batch. It was a lot of. I was burning my roommates' mouths off. It was like once a week. Yeah, it was like once a week type thing.
I was gonna ask, you ever just completely blow their mouth off on some of these taste tests?
Not so. I haven't really messed around with like anything too hot yet, but that's definitely coming up. I want to start messing around with some really hot stuff. As long as I can keep the flavor, then I will add a lot more spice.
That's a big thing for me. I can enjoy a real hot sauce, but I don't eat hot sauce just to burn myself. So to me, importance is in the flavor as well. So
yep.
I was waiting to see if someone else would take the next one. Yeah, go.
Yeah. Outside of Galactic Hobo, what are some of your favorite hot sauces?
Ooh, that's a good question. I haven't used. It sounds so messed up because it's like community over competition, but I don't really use many other hot sauces now. That I usually just have a plethora of Galactic Hobo in the fridge, and that's usually what I just add to everything at this point. But I mean, I'll still use like Frank's here and there on my wings. I'll mix it up. I'll mix up all my sauces and stuff. So I mean, they all have their uses. But yeah, the Galactic Hobo for me, like, I gotta practice what I preach. So
I like that.
I feel ya.
As somebody who's made hot sauce, as someone who eats hot sauce, is there a pepper that you just think is garbage? Is there one ingredient that you don't want to put in your hot sauce?
yeah, red bell peppers. No, I'm just kidding. If I find a use for them, maybe down the line. I was messing around with red bell peppers in the OG at one point, and they just doled out the flavor. So I don't mess with them anymore.
Okay.
I try not to mess with them, but I mean, maybe down the line. I don't want to say never. So, but yeah, as far as now, it's just like the bell peppers have no use for me right now.
So did you find it dulled the flavor or dulled the heat?
Yeah, it dulled the flavor. It was
Okay.
I tried it on everything. The OG, that was like
Interesting.
the rough one, but before I added I actually switched out the bell peppers for the tomatoes that are in it now to bring up the acidity, and that gave it more of a long lasting flavor profile. But before it kind of just dropped off like right off the tongue.
It's so crazy to hear you say that because, I mean, I like all peppers, but I think red bell peppers are probably one of my most favored pepper if I'm just eating a pepper. I like what it does when I saute it up. No, but it makes sense. You putting it into a hot sauce, it might not do what you want. And I love the tomato in this. Full disclosure, I forgot that we were interviewing you, and I cracked open this bottle last week and started enjoying it. And they were like, "You're supposed to wait." I was like, "Well, shit, dude, it was really good in the mac and cheese I put it in because Mark's been talking it up. Hot sauce guy's like, you got to try this sauce. This sauce is some of the best sauce." So I was just so excited to go. I just ripped into it. And yeah, the tomato, the flavor, it was overwhelmingly positive. So I can imagine if the red bell pepper just dulls out the sauce as an ingredient. I think green bell peppers are overrated. Any recipe I put a green bell pepper in, I think that's all I taste. So I can imagine that.
The green's not. I would have to say the green and the yellow are probably on a lower scale than the red. I'll use the red before I use the other two.
Okay.
Slug doesn't like jalapenos either.
I mean, listen, I love jalapenos, but that raw. You could talk all the shit you want.
I'm gonna bring this up every episode.
Yeah, I ate a raw jalapeno and it beat me down. It broke me emotionally. I had tears in my ears. I felt it in my nose, my chest, my eyes. I've never felt such heat. I've eaten the hot stuff from Heatness. I've tried all the stuff from Hot Ones. I've had death nut challenges, the death chip challenges. The hottest, most painful thing I've ever eaten was that big chunk out of a raw jalapeno where I just took the whole jalapeno and I just went, and oh my God, I don't know what it was about that one. And I had the worst effect to the jalapeno. I literally ate all those death nuts easier than I did with the jalapeno.
What you don't know is that somehow those ducks in your backyard cross-pollinated your garden and somehow like created like some super jalapeno that's still just like tiny and green, but is like as hot as like Pepper X.
I'm not an expert.
No one will ever have it except for
ever. I've heard stories though that there's certain cheeses or a certain pepper that like 1 out of every 12 from the batch is like for some reason extra spicy. Like, I don't remember if it's a habanero, if it's a jalapeno. There's something about some family of peppers where they're not supposed to be hot. But statistically, for some reason, like 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 12 is just a whole extra level. I'm not saying that's what I got. I'm just saying for some reason that jalapeno hit different. I love jalapeno. I'll put jalapenos on every nacho I eat will have a jalapeno or two on it. Okay, I'll put them on my sandwiches, but man, that fresh stuff just hit different.
Yeah, those raw ones get sneaky sometimes.
It did.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It backstabbed me. It hit me with a critical strike, Dungeons and Dragons rogue style, all the D4s. It just completely annihilated me out of nowhere.
In fairness,
with that comment. He's just like, what? D4? What
It's
does
all
that
right.
mean?
The showing for him.
In fairness, who's hot sauce guide?
Yeah, who's hot sauce guy?
In fairness,
Mhm.
the peppers do have a significant thousands of Scoville unit range, so
Mhm.
you may have just gotten one
A
on the
higher
higher
one.
end.
Exactly.
Don't
who
reel
knows?
this back. You bring this up every episode to
You
talk
can
shit
talk.
on him.
Y'all
He
can talk
deserves
shit. It's
talked
fine.
on him. Okay, and don't try to get on his graceful side. But in fairness, no, he's a little bitch. He had a pepper that made him cry like a little puny little baby, and he's gonna have to deal with it. Okay, he can live with that one fault. Man's a hero among men. He can live
I
with
am.
the one time the jalapeno made him cry.
I'm a goddamn hero. I am a role model in the community of human beings. And the one time I showed weakness happened to be over a jalapeno. I will admit that proudly.
Damn, it's rough.
That and
So,
your choice
Aaron,
of
I've
football
got a
teams.
question.
Yeah.
Oh, and our football teams. Yeah, that's a good one. And I got a question for you.
What's up?
What do you put hot sauce on that a normal person would normally just be like, that's fucking weird, bro. That we've had ice cream, we've had all kinds of stuff. What do you put hot sauce on that people would look at you like you're a weirdo?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I put anything on it like that. Ice cream takes the cake for me. I'm like, I'm pretty normal with my hot sauce usage, I would say.
Okay.
I don't think like eggs, steak, chicken, but other than that, that's really all I eat. I'm not putting in my yogurt or anything like that.
Listen.
Well, now you have a good Instagram Reels homework is to just start putting some OG and just random shit in your fridge and just
Yeah, right.
just
We've actually been we've been messing around with like spicy cocktails and stuff with the OG, and like the sauce is just too garlicky to go in a cocktail. There's way too much garlic. You smell it and you're like, holy shit.
Bloody Marys, man. Maybe a Bloody Mary.
Drink right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bloody Mary might be the only thing that it could probably work in.
For context, these guys did they have their own podcast. They do that after or before I roped them into doing this one as well. But they did a show. They put hot sauce on, what was it, 12 different food items?
Yeah, 12 different food items that you should.
What did you all put it on?
Well, I'll tell you what, we did Twinkies, which actually made him vomit for some reason. I don't know why the Twinkie hit him different, but he vomited on a Twinkie with secret aardvark. What I think you should try after reading the ingredients, maybe try a little bit of the Hobo Kai in a PB&J. We put some shaquandas in a PB&J. That was life-changing. Just the curry and the spice cut through the peanut butter perfectly. Not going to lie, some hot sauce with Cinnamon Toast Crunch wasn't bad. All right, we had a pineapple hot sauce for the ice cream, but we had something kind of sweet that I dipped my spoon in and then took a scoop of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It worked. We put it in chicken baby food. Okay, it necessarily didn't make the baby food better, but it made the baby food easier to swallow. There were a few oatmeal. It was garbage in oatmeal. Hot sauce and oatmeal did not mix. Fruit cocktail. Like you said, you're trying to find it just to be in regular cocktails, but unless it's super garlicky, that'll be overwhelming. But if you get some nice little heat elements, you could put that in a cup of peaches or a little fruit cocktail. We tried it all. We tried it all. We had a good time.
We consider ourselves the jackass of of food
podcast.
We just do dumb shit that most people probably don't want to do and shouldn't do. And that was one of them. There's too many videos of me dry heaving and gagging on the internet.
But spicy peanut butter, that's a market that needs to be.
Probably...
Yes, that needs to be cornered.
Spicy peanut butter works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the spicy peanut butter,
food.
That stuff works.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good Thai recipes that have a spicy peanut sauce and stuff. So I feel like that would go pretty well.
Yeah. You guys want to break out the hot sauce?
Let's do it.
Is it time?
Now, full disclosure, I watch competitive eaters, and I saw a basic challenge where my favorite love of my life, and I'm happy to concede her to Randy Santel, Katina Eats Kilos. She ate like an 8 8-ounce. She ate like 8-ounce patties and a cheeseburger and a bunch of tater tots in 4 minutes. So I said, I think I could try that. I made myself a big old triple cheeseburger with about 30 tater tots. I burned the fuck out of my mouth eating it in 7 minutes, and then after scorching my mouth with the bottom burger and then putting a bunch of delicious crispy tater tots in there, my roof of my mouth is shredded. I'm going to try to get this hot sauce to go directly to my tongue and nowhere else. I'm going to try to just swallow this without it touching the roof of my mouth, because I'm afraid of what's going to happen if I just completely pepper spray an open wound in my mouth. But it smells so good, the pain might be worth it.
I just want to have some spaghetti right now with this.
I'm telling you, with the mac and cheese, man,
Oh,
my
yeah.
mom
I
always
put
served
it in my
it.
pasta sauce.
Yeah.
So
Stewed
we're,
tomatoes with
actually-
homemade mac.
When I had this, when it was Trip to Mars, when I had originally reviewed it, I just put it on pasta, no other sauce, just straight on some pasta.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, I've got my hot sauce guide certified spoon full. I'm ready to go. You do the 3, 2,
I got my
1,
shot
I'm
glass.
down.
3, 2, 1, cheers.
That is delicious.
Thank you.
That is
So good. That is so good.
unique. That is very unique to what a lot of the sauces that we've tried. A lot of the sauces that we've had have been more on the sweeter spectrum. This is more of like that garlic just hits you.
And the tomato, that's so good
This
and
is
vibrant.
so damn good. You could kind of taste
like-
the carrot on it. It is so good.
I like the choice of red wine vinegar on it
Yes.
because there's a lot of sauces that are very vinegar based, but kind of distort the taste.
Yep.
And the red wine vinegar with the shallots and the garlic and the all of that, it pairs so well together.
Thank you.
Aaron,
This
this
could
is
be V8.
absolutely delicious.
Yeah, this could be
Thank you.
V8. This is better than V8. I'd rather drink a cup of this than a cup of V8. Now I am scared. I
This
taste.
was-
Yeah, I taste the chunks. Like you can feel like there's like whether it's the peppers, if it's the tomato seeds, if it's the garlic. But with all the shredded skin on the top of my mouth, I'm afraid I don't know what I have in my mouth now. I don't know, and I think I have chunks of vegetables in my
Like a
wounds.
seed.
Yeah, I might be growing a seed, so I am a little perturbed right now. But it is delicious. Oh, this
So-
is
This
going.
was in my
yeah.
top 10 of 2021.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you voted this as the top 10 of your 2021, correct?
It was in my top 10.
Yeah, and I can see why. This is an absolutely fantastic tasting sauce. I always like to ask, and I'm probably stealing someone's thunder, but when you use this sauce, and you've mentioned some things, eggs, steak, chicken, what do you think is the perfect pairing with this sauce? Like when you, like right now, I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat for dinner tonight, and I'm going to use this sauce in it.
Mhm.
So why don't you tell me what I'm ordering for dinner tonight and putting this on?
Steak and cheese is probably my favorite thing to put it on.
Really?
Just a loaded steak and cheese. Yep, that's like my favorite thing. But I mean, it goes well on anything with chicken too. But steak, red meats are like, I've always loved red meats since I was a kid. I can't get away from them. And just the
Awesome.
combination of the flavors on the red meat is just like, I love it.
This on a
But yeah, the
meatball
steak
sub.
and cheese with that it could totally work on that too. But that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like it just goes on so much stuff, and it's like it's crazy when people ask me. I'm like, I don't know, just try it on anything. But steak and cheese is like the number one. If I had to pick, steak and cheese all day.
Okay.
Okay.
I live on
Yes,
the
sir.
West Coast, not really getting too many good quality Philly
All right,
style
West-
steak and cheeses. But
Aw,
I've got
man.
some options. I've got some options.
Okay.
You live in a
I-
big city.
I know. I got everything.
God
but
forbid you make it
coming
yourself.
from Pennsylvania. coming from Pennsylvania, I'm a little bit
Yeah.
biased when it comes to
That's tough.
chop
Yeah.
steak or steak and cheese and stuff. So
Well, you also used to live in Nebraska, where the beef was a little different as well.
that's true. Quality of beef there is chef kiss.
That's true.
Oh yeah, we're having meatball. We're
I
having
can
spaghetti
still taste
meatballs really soon. And
You know,
this is going in it.
Pizza's a big one too. Whenever I have pizza, OG goes on the pizza too. That's also probably in the top 5.
Okay.
Ooh, like a frozen pizza where you don't always get a lot of sauce. I feel like this would take a frozen pizza to an entirely different level. Because you don't want sauces to get lost in sauces.
The little square, the square ones, the square pizzas.
Yeah.
Just throw that on there.
Absolutely.
I mean, any of the frozen pizzas, really.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a new quality of life upgrade.
That's right.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
That's delicious. I'm going back for a third spoonful.
So what if
I've
you
already
now
had 3.
you explained a little bit more, but one more time for the listeners at home and for me, just so I follow your story more. What changed? Why do we go from your original recipe or the original branding to the Galactic to this new OG? And did you tweak anything in between?
Yeah, it was just kind of a money thing, a time thing.
Okay.
We came up with the original labels. It was kind of like he was doing me a favor, but I knew I wanted barcodes on the labels. I knew eventually I wanted the nutritional facts.
Okay.
So once I got that stuff, it was like let's fucking go all out.
Let's go. Okay.
Let's redo this whole thing.
I appreciate you're not the first person we talked to that had to, that had like a second coming of their sauce, that had a reproduction almost. So I like to hear why people go through this. I like to hear the journey that the sauce travels through.
Yep. Yeah, and then the name for me just wasn't really sticking. It was like people would ask me about Trip to Mars, and throughout the whole process I always called it OG. And I was just like, you know what? Let's just call it OG. Let's just put it on the label. Mm-hmm. It's OG, and that's it. It's sticking.
I am such a fan. I'm thinking of all the things I'm going to eat tonight for dinner.
Hell yeah!
You're just gonna have a sampler of all sorts of food, and
yeah, get a flight.
Well, I mean, I'm 85% chance we're door dashing, so I'll hit up like 4 different restaurants.
Some fried raviolis, get some meatballs, get a chopped cheese or a steak sandwich, a hamburger. You got it all.
Hell yeah!
Ooh, that would go good on a hamburger.
It probably would be pretty good on a hamburger.
The garlic.
Anything. Mm-hmm.
The garlic would.
Maybe a chicken parm. Some people aren't into chicken and tomatoes. That's why I'm feeling like a chicken parm's great if it's cooked the perfect way when I'm in a mood. But I don't know if I'd toss straight chicken wings in this because it's so tomato saucy. Like it's so vibrant with the tomato. So I don't know if I want chicken tenders tossed in it or chicken wings. But I want this on every other meal. I want to try it on a cheesesteak sandwich. And I definitely am putting this in the next batch of pasta and meatballs we make for sure. Lasagna. It's going down. I got lots of ideas, and I kind of want to start drinking Bloody Marys now. Like you're making a gallon of Bloody Marys for a party. You throw a little vodka, little OG Galactic OG in there, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Hey, what else is in a Bloody Mary, Slug?
Clamato, maybe gin, celery, probably a jalapeno, maybe a potato. I don't know. What are you getting at? You're looking at me with that shit-eating grin. I don't know what I'm missing. Some V8.
You named like 2 ingredients. I wanted to see if you started making a Bloody Mary. I wanted to see if you knew.
Yeah, I feel like a Bloody Mary is supposed to be tomato or clamato, so V8 with a little vodka and then maybe some hot sauce and horseradish. But I feel like you don't need any of that horse shit. You need a half a pint of vodka and just a whole bottle of OG Galactic. You're good to go. That's your Bloody Mary. That's your Bloody Mary.
That sounds good to
it
me.
out with some crispy bacon and just
exactly. You eat it with the bacon.
Well, you got to do the bacon covered rim. You got to put the bacon on the rim, so every time you get the sip, you get the bacon.
Yeah, that'd be
sick.
Do that.
I think you broke Slug. He just can't. He's just listing everything that needs to eat.
That's
right
all.
now.
That's all I got to eat it all. Listen, man. Okay, it's a hard day's work being as fat guy as I am. Always got to work at it. It doesn't come naturally. You think I just wake up looking like this? It's hard work. It is hard work. Aaron, before Hot Sauce Guy tries to wrap it up or ask you any more questions, what's the spiciest story you got for us? What's the spicy experience of your life, whether it be metaphorically or physically eating a hot pepper?
Spiciest story of
Yeah.
my life? Holy shit. Oh. Like, we talking dangerous here? Or?
That's what I'm saying. Whatever you want to share, yeah.
Nothing that'll get you arrested.
I mean, if you want to get arrested,
and
that's
I
on
don't
you.
have
Just
to-
don't say anything that'll get me
Well,
arrested.
okay. Just don't say anything that'll get me having to like testify against you because I don't.
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
I don't really feel like.
Yeah, we don't want to do it.
that.
Not this good sauce.
Nah, I mean, I'm a pretty chill guy, but you know, producing the hot sauce, there's always, I don't need to wear any safety glasses or anything like that.
Okay.
So, and I'm pretty reckless when I'm in the kitchen. So the hot sauce splattering in the eye is definitely a
Ooh,
thing.
yeah.
That is a consistent thing when I'm producing. Or, you know, it's not really spicy, but I've unplugged when I was bottling them. I got hot sauce, boiling hot sauce all over my arm. So that was pretty freaking fun. But I mean, other than that, I'm pretty calm guy, I guess. I don't have any really spicy stories anymore. I used to. I'm not afraid to back down from a fight though. So like back in the day, I used to get a pretty rowdy, but not anymore. My girlfriend has calmed me down quite a bit. She's put the lock on that. She said
There reminds me of
that's
two
not
things.
happening.
First one, any fight I've ever been in, I've lost, just gotten beat up. So it's always my mouth. I always run it, and then I get it hurt, and so there's no real point. I've learned now at the age of 33 that I just stop this,
Just
and
shut up.
I won't end up with pain.
Right.
And speaking of pain, that reminded me, getting hot sauce in your eye. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on our podcast or whatever, but I had a bottle of the Bravado blueberry ghost pepper in my office as like a display thing, and it one day it like just fell off my desk and just splattered in my office, and it went everywhere. But my office was like just this little tiny little space, and so I basically maced myself with this ghost pepper blueberry hot sauce. Like I had to leave work for the day because my eyes were like swelling shut because I like in the process of like cleaning everything up, and like it just spread throughout my tiny little like 4x4 office that like I had maced myself with that sauce, and it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. I came home from work and my fiance was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" I was like, "I can't see. I can't see."
You know, when I first started making it, my apartment, my kitchen was in the middle of the apartment, so there was no windows or circulation, and I would have like four batches at a time going, and just hot sauce fumes going everywhere, and I'd be like, just dying from the fumes. It's crazy. People don't realize how spicy that stuff gets, whether it's in the air or not. It's insane.
I've done that cooking. I've maced the area with some hot sauce on the stove. That's happened.
I remember
And
cleaning up.
I'm like a cook with smell kind of guy. So I'll like go over and I'll smell it to make sure it smells good. And like with the hot sauce, it's not the greatest idea.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
So you mentioned earlier when Slug asked you about peppers and which ones you avoid. You said you don't like to add red bell peppers. But when you're attempting new recipes or trying to perfect recipes that you have in mind, are there any other ingredients that you stay away from that you don't want to add to your sauces?
No, not really. I mean, I'm pretty open, and I'm always learning new ways to cook and new techniques and stuff. Like I said, I started out as a dishwasher, so it's all like self-taught, and I continue to teach myself new about new ingredients, new techniques all the time. So I don't really have a list of like forbidden ingredients, but I usually try to stick to the simple things and the stuff I know and the stuff I'm good at, and I usually go from there.
Nice. Slug or Turkey, you got anything else?
Yeah, what's the future? What are we going to next? What are we doing next? I know you've got your 3 sauces. You do a little bit of a rebrand, but what's the future of Galactic Hobo?
Yeah, so actually, that's a great question because I got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm actually going to start working on 2 more sauces coming up soon. We'll see. We'll see how long that takes. I haven't even worked on them yet, but I have a roasted garlic mushroom sauce that I want to be my spiciest sauce yet. So we'll see how that goes. I'll start working on the recipe soon. And I want to start working on a barbecue sauce. So
I'm all about
I'll
a
start
barbecue.
doing that. Yeah, so I figured I don't use barbecue as much, but I know a lot of people do. So I'd love to come out with like some sort of barbecue. I haven't nailed down a name or a pepper or anything for that yet. And then the merch and the clothing and stuff is something I've really wanted to focus on and put a lot of focus into. So moving forward into that, me and my high school friend will definitely be putting a lot of effort into all that stuff as well.
I was about to say, if you put your labels on some T-shirts or hats, I'm wearing those.
Hell yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
labels.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be coming soon. We've been talking about doing some stuff with the already drawn out assets and stuff,
Yeah.
and just because right now I'm just using a print on demand site, so I can pretty much just do whatever I want without having to buy in bulk right now. So it's been working out pretty well. But yeah, eventually in the future, I'd like to move into more of a I don't really know how to put it, like someone I know. I'd like to actually go to the place and buy the stuff, do some crazy stuff with the merch as well. That's definitely in my radar. Potentially, maybe like a hot dog cart. I don't know.
I love
We'll
hot
see.
dogs.
There you go.
I love all the
It's
ideas.
something I've thought about, but I don't want to commit to it but we'll see. Maybe that might be something that comes down the pike. We'll see.
You're speaking to Trick's heart right now.
I literally just posted on Instagram yesterday that I wanted to manifest hot dogs because I just want them in my life. And then the local hot dog place was like, "Come on in." And I'm like, "I got
Hell
you.
yeah.
All right.
I'll see you soon. Don't you worry, baby." Yeah,
Yeah.
I could eat a hot dog every day. I absolutely love hot dogs. If I could retire right now and be able to just live comfortably selling hot dogs, I probably would. As long as I could eat them every day. I love hot dogs.
Yeah, hot dogs are great, and they're so customizable. You can do it's kind of like a burger or pizza. You know, you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
As long as it's done right, then we're good to go.
Hell yeah.
Well, Slug, you got anything else?
I got no more questions. I'm just so happy that we did this. I'm so happy I got to talk with Aaron, learn so much, enjoy the sauce. I got no more questions. Just smiles.
A tingly belly and happy thoughts.
Tingly belly in mouth and some thoughts.
And a burnt
roof of the mouth.
Yeah.
There we go. On the same page there. Well, the last thing we always like to do, I'm stealing Turk's line again, but the last thing we like to do is kind of just let you plug yourself. Where can people find you, and how do they get your stuff?
Oh,
yeah, talk your heat. Talk your heat.
I got no heat, but galactichobo.com. That's the website. I just did a little revision on it, uploaded some new images, cleaned it up. So galactichobo.com. And I do a lot of my updates on my Instagram at Galactic Hobo Sauce.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll make sure that we add that in there.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll get when we launch the episode. We'll have all your graphics so where everyone can find you along the side there. So you'll just be a click away. Well, this Browns fan survived an hour with these rowdy Steelers fans. I thank everyone for tuning in. Aaron, thank you. It's been a pleasure. And thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Talking Heat. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. For more information, visit talkingheat.com.